How's it going, everybody? It's Matt again. Today we're going to take a look at another one of DR.WU slash Mechanic Studios or MFT. It's like a collaboration thing with them. This is going to be MS0 or MS37 Giant Axe. It's going to be the final of their triple changers. It's going to be Broadside. So this is kind of a collaboration, just like how they did with Sandstorm and was that it? Was it Sandstorm? I know Mechanic Studio has done pretty much all of the other triple changers, but this is, I believe, the second one that they've done in collaboration with DR.WU. But anyway, so here it is from the front, bottom, side, rear, other side, top. It's a box. It's a box. So, next up we have, of course, his kind of obligatory card thing. It's decent enough. It's really cheap, though. It's like a cheap material. But, I don't know. If you like cards, cards. He does also come with a set of instructions, which is, nice, decent, basic, whatever. He's going to come with a whole bunch of accessories. Namely, he's going to come with some mini aerial bots, but they'll need to be painted, of course. I already kind of snipped off some sprues because I was probably going to paint these at some point, but they're just tiny little mini set of aerial bots, which is kind of cool. He's also going to come with a set of these little missiles, which you can tab on various parts on his body. He's going to come with a big axe weapon, and he's going to come with his gun. Some bad waffles there on the side, though. But here he is. Here he is in his aircraft carrier mode. It's decent enough. It's definitely a robot block underneath a aircraft carrier panel, which it's all right. It definitely could be better. One thing in particular that I really don't like about this is it doesn't sit flat. So this blue part here, it kind of, so I don't really like that all that much, but it's decent enough. Everything doesn't really tab together very well back here either. Like, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I just could not get this to tab together correctly back here. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. You can also take his missiles and you can peg them into these kind of side ports here if you want to, like so. You can also tab them in up here. You can also take his axe weapon, tab it in there, and tab it in up here if you want, and his gun, same thing. You can tab it into wherever. So that is a thing that you can do. So set all those aside. But of course, he does have a second alt mode. He turns into a giant kind of spaceship thing. So let's do that. So firstly, what we're going to want to do is kind of flip these fins down like this. And then we're going to just kind of open them up like so. If I can actually get my finger in there. There we go. These wing panels here, you're going to kind of lift up off of this little tab here on the other side and just open them up. They're on a little track here, so you can't go too far. And then you're just going to kind of lift this section up. We're going to push that section down. And then basically what we're going to need to do is lift this part up, lift this up, and we're going to have to kind of pull this through this section here. And it can be kind of a pain. You got to kind of twist it around this panel and then lift it back around like this, and you're going to push this up and collapse it back onto the back of that part. And then we're going to take this panel and you're just going to close it up back here. These two little pegs will go into those two little holes like that. That can just peg back in there. This middle section here is going to lift off of that panel, flip in, and this will flip down, peg together there. At the ball joint here, you're going to want to twist this around like this, and then we're going to kind of just bring them down for now. This big panel will just open up, and then this whole section here, it helps to kind of push on that little tab. You can lift this whole section up like this. You're going to want to kind of rotate his head around so it conceals. Then push this up and over like this. And then this panel will come down, and this little panel will come down like this and tab in there. And then what we're going to do is these little panels, we're going to bring these down on either side. And then this, you're going to want to kind of rotate them, or these arms, around like this. And then this panel will collapse into the inside of what will be the torso. So collapse it in like that, so it kind of looks like this. Same thing on this side, rotate that around, collapse it kind of in like this, and then you'll kind of push down on these and they'll recess into this little groove right here. And then this will just kind of come up like this, and this panel will come back up like this and kind of peg everything in together. You can kind of put those panels however you want them, like this. And then more or less, this is the jet mode. Oh, you're going to want to close these panels on either side. But more or less, that's the jet mode. It's all right looking, I guess. I mean, it's definitely something. But there it is. He does have landing gear. You can pull up that little thing there, and you can pull on these little tabs here. Of course, everything comes undone when you do that, but you can flip these out, and he does have little landing gear that you can set him on if you so choose. But yeah, it's all right. It's not really the fault of the figure. It's more the fault of the design. The Broadside's jet mode was always kind of questionable anyways, but there he is. You can, of course, still take his missiles, and you can plug them in basically wherever you want, underneath here, on top of here. Same thing with his like axe weapon. You can put it pretty much wherever on any of these little posts. You can put them. But yeah, there he is. Decent enough. But let's get him into bot mode now. So we're going to go ahead and just close up these landing gear again. These panels, you're going to close these and put them back how they were. Like so. We're going to open that panel back up. Then we're going to take this section here, undo this, open this up, open up these sections here where his arm's tucked in. These panels will come back up, and this whole thing will come back down. We'll make sure his head panel stays. This will come down like that, tuck back in there. That'll tuck back in there, and this whole panel will come back up and tab all of that back together. Now here at the arms, you're going to untab from the back of the shoulder, rotate that around, and on this arm, you're going to want to, I believe, I can't remember how you get it undone. You open it up from the front and then flip the hand out like so, put it back, and then of course that came untabbed. This, same thing, unpeg from the back of the arm, rotate it around, but on this arm, you're going to rotate this section out and then flip his fist up and flip that back like that. See, this came undone too. You got to make sure you have everything lined up when you put this peg together, or this tab together, because it won't sit right. This whole back section here, you're going to flip up like this. You can put the wings at this orientation. There's a certain orientation that they have to be so that these peg in. There you go. You see them line up. And go ahead and peg that in together, and then flip these wings down. And they kind of lock all that in together. The waist here, you're going to rotate it around, split the legs. These front panels will open and flip on this dual joint knees, kind of like Combiner Wars it. Bring it down, tab it into the side of that red part like that, and this section will just kind of come down and peg back in like this and like that. Oops, I did kind of do that wrong. So this waist area rotates freely, so unpeg it from the front and the back, and you can rotate that around independently of the armor and peg it back together like that. So his legs are in the right orientation. And actually, I just realized this. No, that is pegged incorrectly, I think. So the front section here, Bring these parts out, lift this up, flip out the heel. Like this, you want it to be flat like this, and then push it back into the foot. So it kind of fills out the bottom of the foot like that. Like this, and then flip it back in. And then more or less, there is Broadside. He's decent. Got some nice paintwork here on the legs, and he's all right looking. I will say he is small. I realize this is supposed to scale with DR.WU figures, but it is definitely disappointing that he is so small. I really did think that he was going to be maybe scale a little bit better with, like, you know, Magic Square and New Age and their type of stuff, because that's how all of MFT's and Mechanic Studio stuff were, but he is definitely a little on the small side. So word of warning there. But he does look decent. I will say, like, the thighs look weird to me. Like, I don't know if I transformed him wrong or what, but the thighs definitely, like, look backwards to me. I don't know. Strange. But you can, of course, put his missiles. You can put them on the backs of his wings here, if you so desire. You can, of course, have him hold his big axe and his big gun if you want him to. He does that just fine. Let's take all of those off. Toss them to the side. So let's go over articulation. So the head is on a ball joint. Can move forward and back a little bit, side to side a little bit, and it can rotate all the way around. He has a joint here in the torso for his shoulder, which lets you lift up all the way, and then of course his other ball joint will get the arm all the way out. But that's mainly used for transformation anyways, but we will still count it. You can rotate. He would be able to go all the way around if it weren't for his wings. If you kind of pull him around to the side, you can get past it. Has a little mushroom joint or mushroom peg here in the upper arm, 360 degrees. Double jointed elbow for 180, which is good. He does have no wrist articulation on this arm. Yeah, no wrist articulation. But you do have a pin here in the hand, so you can open his fingers if you want to. No kind of, oh, he does have an ab crunch. I'm surprised by that. He does have an ab crunch, which is pretty good. You can rotate the waist 360 degrees. The front panel and back panel and side panels can open along his waist to get him all kinds of free motion for his legs. His legs do rotate out about that far. If you lift up the panel, you can get the leg up all the way. And if you lift up the rear panel, you can get his leg up back all the way. So that's good. Does rotate above the thigh. You can get it, yeah, you can get it 360 degrees, which is good. He has a double jointed knee. No, it's just a single jointed knee, sorry. And it'll get you under 90 degrees, which is he does have kind of a, really no toe articulation just because of how the foot transforms, but you do have an ankle rocker, which is decent enough. Oh, and it can rotate. It does have a rotation joint at the foot. So, yeah. Okay-ish articulation, not too bad. But let me get him cleaned up a little bit and we'll do some size comparisons. All right, size comparison time. So here he is with one of New Age's mini bots. Here's Cliff Jumper. Here he is with a Carbot, Barricade. How about a Constructicon? Here he is with Bone Crusher. And how about Magic Square's Optimus? So yeah, he's definitely a little small. He's supposed to be closer-ish to like Skyfire size. I don't actually have Skyfire out right now. He's in storage, but he's quite a bit larger. So I guess this is definitely supposed to be more in scale with their DR.WU figures, which is kind of a shame. And just because I mentioned him, here's the previous collaboration with DR.WU and Mechanic, or what is it? MS Studios, Mechanic Studios. There is the Sandstorm that they had just made. I don't have any of the other triple changers out right now, otherwise I would show them, but they're all kind of roughly that size. So, unfortunate. Kind of wish that he was a little bit larger. All right, and that's going to do it for Mechanic Studio / DR.WU MS-37 Giant Axe. They're Legends-ish scaled broadside. Yeah, I mean, really my main issue with him is just his size. I definitely wish that he was a bit larger, closer to like Skyfire size, but I guess they were kind of more aiming for DR.WU's micro scale than anything, because I bet he probably looks really good next to them. But I don't collect DR.WU figures, so I don't know. I can't compare him to them. But I bet he would look really good in a micro scale type of collection. But as a figure itself, I mean, he's okay. There's not really a lot of paint on him. He is kind of flimsy in some areas, a little finicky. He has okay articulation. I'm really wondering if the legs are misassembled or something on mine, because they do look kind of funky, or maybe I did something wrong, but I mean, I couldn't see that I did anything wrong, so who knows. But other than that, I mean, he's a decent little figure. He's like roughly deluxe size. I mean, he's a decent little figure. Pretty on par with a lot of other Mechanic Studios stuff. So yeah, but at least now we have all the triple changers, which is cool. Because I know that they released like the comic book version and a couple of other different versions of this that I believe were scaled to the correct size. So maybe that's why they chose to do it like that. But he's not technically toon size accurate, but it's fine. He's still a decent enough figure. But of course, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like or comment or subscribe to the channel. If you want to see any of my other reviews, they are on a convenient little playlist that is on my channel, so you can go check that out if you so choose. If you would like to support me, please consider, becoming maybe a channel member or checking out my Patreon, which is linked in the description. That is meant more for like my 3D printing stuff and for my Armored Core type of things that I've been putting out, but it is probably the best way to support me, so please go check that out. But of course, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.